Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your July full moon lunar eclipse reading from my cosmic heart to yours. I hope that this reaches you and offers some insight, inspiration, and some guidance. So the full moon lunar eclipse is July 16th or 17th, depending on where you are in the world. And it's going to bring, the full moon's in Capricorn. And then there's a lunar eclipse, which is wrapping up from the solar eclipse that happened at the beginning of July. So it's going to bring kind of like the dust settling. Everything sort of comes together. It's the climax and the resolution all in one type of energy. So I feel like it's going to be fast moving for a lot of us. Things are going to wrap up really quick. But with everything in retrograde, there's so much stuff that has come up. And so we're going to look at the physical self and the spiritual self and see what the shadow work and the light work is that we have been doing, my Aquarius friends. So the shadow work we've been doing in our physical life is figuring out the tribe, right? Who is in alignment with you and your purpose that you're working for and the path that you're on, really attracting people that are in alignment to help you move the energy in the direction that you want it to go. So it's not so important to have people, kind of in your experience and influencing it, because of course there's a lot of work that you need to discover and figure out for yourself. But it really is important who you surround yourself with. So if you're surrounding yourself with people who aren't necessarily in alignment with who you are or where you want to go, and it's no disrespect to them, but it kind of is a disrespect to you and your mission and where you see yourself, because you're not really surrounding yourself with people who can help you move that momentum. They're kind of a distraction. They distract you and bring you on different different other loops, which are great for learning and, deepening your awareness and, things like that. But if you're ready to take a step in mission and you're ready to move physically, a house or a job or relationships or your spiritual practices, if you're ready to make a move and a change, then you'll want to surround yourself with people who are in alignment with who you want to be and where you want to go, not in who you've always been. Kind of like, for a bit of a dramatic example, but true, if you think about someone who has struggled with addiction, they can't continue to have the same friends and ask for a different life, right? They have to choose different friends to get that different life. So, all right, the light work that we're doing is about being flexible. So I do think that, in order for you to shift the tribe and to shift the momentum and the energy of where you want to be focused, you are going to have to be flexible. We're going to look at the journey from the tribe to flexibility. I think that as you are where you are and finding acceptance where you are, there are going to be, there's going to be this purging that you're going to have to participate in. And when we purge and let go of people and attract new people, there's this level of flexibility with yourself. Be flexible with the person that you are in this moment, and while aspiring to be the person you want to be moving forward, to really be flexible with yourself and know that sometimes divine timing feels longer in the physical because everything feels so much slower in our physical 3-dimension. And to really allow yourself, to just be flexible with time, be flexible with your process, be flexible on how you do things and think about things and perceive things. Let's look a little bit more about the journey between the tribe and flexible. So yeah, we have 7 of Swords, right? So there are going to be things that come up. There are going to be changes that come up. And it's like, don't overdo it where you are. 7 of Swords is saying, don't overdo it. Don't give more than what you want to be giving. Don't give up before you've gotten there too, right? So that flexibility it kind of goes both ways. Don't put more effort into places where you don't wish to be, but don't drown where you wish to go in doubt. We have King of Pentacles, right? So it's like, be happy and confident where you are in this moment so that this moment can help propel you and manifest you forward. There is going to be a shift in your financial avenues, right? The avenues in which your finances come in. So maybe this could be about shifting at a job or a business. It is going to level up. You are going to expand. Just make sure you don't like ruin it before it happens. And you can do that. So some more swords. So the swords around the pentacles is telling me that your perception about finances is really your biggest challenge. And what you tell yourself about your finances and what you're capable of to obtain financial freedom and support. It's like your thoughts and your actions is really what is affecting excuse me, your financial flow. And so the Knight of Swords is reminding you that when you're in this space in between, you know, having to be flexible, make sure that your thoughts are not distracting you or leading you down a path of fear and worry. And so your tribe, who you're surrounding yourself with, is going to help influence that, because who you surround yourself fills your external chatter, which can influence your internal chatter. So one of the chatter needs to be strong. If your internal chatter is not strong, which I don't think it is, because I don't think Knight of Swords would come up. So if your internal chatter about your finances and your job and where you are in life is not your strongest, then who you're surrounding yourself with, that external chatter that's coming in, is going to influence that internal chatter. So what you need to do is tone down the volume of who is surrounding you at this time so that you can work on your internal chatter and make sure you're strengthening it, and really, you know, be flexible with yourself in the process. Recognize when you're thinking things that are not moving you forward, that are keeping you stuck. You really want to keep the momentum going and the momentum flowing, even though there are so many planets in retrograde, which again can add to the slowness of things and the, you know, things being so drawn out. So I get that, but just don't overdo it and watch your thoughts, and your finances are leveling up. So try to remember that and allow for it to keep you motivated. Don't feed the fear. It's okay to feel it because it guides you where you need to do healing and where you need to do some work, and, you know, where you need to bring awareness. Hey, that's funny. This human is feeling worried. Where does this come from? What can I do to change it? Or, hey, this is a fearful thought. I'm going to replace that with a positive affirmation. Okay, so let's look at the spiritual work behind all of this. And so for the shadow work on the spiritual side, we have the new moon in Pisces, which is meditate and contemplate. That is the advice for your spiritual shadow work, which I really do love, because the new moon in Pisces really is all about that spiritual work. Pisces is about spirituality. It's about facing your fears, which we just talked about, right? It's about really getting into the depth of your emotions and your thoughts and what's driving you. You think about the water for Pisces, and just like really diving deep into that. And it's the things that are underneath the surface that is driving the things that are above. So when you're somewhere between, you know, you need this flexibility because you're somewhere between having this major spiritual awakening and epiphany and mission focus, but you're still here on this level where you kind of can't get through, and sometimes that can leave you confused or disappointed, which is why that flexibility is coming in. Like, you can kind of be disappointed with yourself. I wish I could just be in this position, or I wish I could just move things in this place. And the new moon in Pisces is to really just allow for those feelings that come up, the things that are coming up from the surface. Again, to let it guide you. Your logic is not going to work right now, Aquarius. I'm sorry to tell you. I know that you love to rely on your logic, but this isn't a time for logic. This is a time to really face those fears, allow for healing, and really to avoid allowing yourself to be deceptive or manipulated in any sense of the word. So maybe again, it's that external chatter that's kind of driving you, and it's not that people are meaning to manipulate you or meaning to deceive you, but because you've not allowed those fears to come up and bubble up and you haven't really processed them, then you're allowing that external to drive your internal, and the opposite needs to happen, okay? You need that internal to drive your external. So that's where you're going to be working on, allowing for all of that to bubble up and being flexible, maybe with your forgiveness, right? Allow yourself to forgive yourself for not, for the actions that are not in alignment or where you want them to be. In the light work, we have mother, wife, sister, daughter, Lady Nada. And it's about your roles, I feel like. Whether you identify with these feminine traits, lady, mother, wife, sister, daughter, whether you identify with those roles, I think it's more so about the roles, because not every person who's going to watch this is going to be a female. It's about the roles you take in your life that you connect to. Having it being feminine qualities, it is about that feminine energy, which, asks you to look at any unhealed feelings with your feminine, with your intuition, with your softness, with your creative energy, and make sure that you're practicing habits that allows for that feminine energy to come in. Being an Aquarius, being very logical, driven, and thinking outside of the box. Aquarius are known to sometimes operate from a more masculine place. Whether you're feminine, whether you identify as female or male, it doesn't matter. This is the energy, and the masculine energy is all about doing things and going for things and getting them done and creating and going. And I feel like Aquarius is easily attracted to that type of energy. So the feminine energy sometimes falls at the wayside, and you're being asked to really tap into that feminine energy and practice using your intuition more, practice your gifts that you've been given, and look at the relationships you have with, as a mother, wife, sister, daughter, or with your mother, wife, sister, daughter. Look at those feminine relationships to see how are you in those relationships. Do you feel good as a mother, wife, sister, daughter? Do you feel like a good partner to your wife, or a good father to the mother of your children? Or, do you feel like a good father to your daughter, or a good brother to your sister, and so on? What's your relationship like with these archetypes, these roles? And what's the relationship like with your role? Okay, so some healing energy, Aquarius. We have listen to your body, which makes sense when we talk about that intuitive and feminine energy. It's listening to your body. That's the feminine energy. It pairs really nice with the light work of your spiritual self, because when you listen to your body, you're going to feel if it feels right, and you're going to feel if it feels off. And your emotions are going to guide you just as much as your body is going to guide you. Make sure you're feeding your body with whole foods. Stay away from processed foods and alcohol and things like that. Really keep your energy pure so that feminine energy and intuition can come in. And really listen to where your body is guiding you, Aquarius. And then finally, we have do something for someone else. And I think that maybe you are doing things for someone else, but it is also important when you do things for someone else. This is like a feminine energy. So don't do things because you are in this masculine role and you need to handle things, but like soften up and do something for someone else. Have soft actions and vulnerable giving, and see how that shifts things for you. I wish you all the very best, Aquarius. Take care.